anywhere in London, you're talking 300 grand, aren't you? Minimum.
Pretty much.
For the bare minimum. So that's still talking about £1,500 a month.
It's crazy. Any second now I'm gonna press go and put this on pause. So I got told today that we should not forget YouTube. So if you are watching,
yes,
all right, so we're about to go live. If you're watching on YouTube, we are about to go live on Facebook. 3, 2, 1. Hey,
we're not there yet.
Oh, we're there.
We're there. Morning, everybody.
If you were a fly on the wall in this studio, you would have heard Malcolm and I talking. So we were talking about how difficult it is to find positive stuff. My name's Gary Kasula. You're in for a treat today.
I'm Malcolm Williams.
And together we put together a show. Now the show is no good without you.
Yeah.
We will talk and give you our opinions on stuff, but we want to hear your opinions. So you change the direction of the show. It's 0203 846 8888. I'll make sure I take off the forward button. Disable. There you go. We want you to call in. Please call in. Good morning.
Good morning.
What positive stuff have you got? Because we could go on.
We did try this morning.
Go on.
We actually tried. And it was so hard to find anything positive.
Not easy.
So
you found a few bits.
A couple of bits. So let's do something local. I thought more kind of funny than things. So a couple of bits. First thing, Enfield Council have voted in their new manifesto, and it's the usual thing: improve housing, improve environment, yada 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 yada. But there was one thing missing. In 2019, the council was their manifesto said that they were going to build a new outdoor swimming pool, like was that for. If anyone who's here, sort of 70s, early 80s, will realise West Southby Road, there used to be an outdoor swimming pool there, and they were going to rebuild it. Unfortunately, in the manifesto for this year, it's not mentioned, so nobody knows what's happening with that at the moment. But there we are. And then the only sort of, I suppose it's funny more than positive or thing was that, as you're aware, that the council's trying to bring back wildlife into areas, and one of the things they're going to be doing is putting grazing cattle into our parks, which is great. Saves them to mow it, let nature do its course. And the Tories have put up they said they're worried that as they call them, beasts. Exactly those words, the beasts at 40 Hall will scare people off of coming. So, are you afraid of cows?
No, I like it that they're going
to be domestic cows. They're very domestic. They're very sort of sedated cows, we've been told, chilled out cows, So they've said, but they're worried that it's got a thing. So, yeah, are you scared of cows? Does it frighten you? Are you not going to go to 40 Hall now because of the cows?
It's crazy. I like wildlife. It's good.
I think it's fantastic.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
No, it's good. Look, zoos are one things, and I understand why they have to be here. They have got better over the years about keeping animals in what looks like the natural environment rather than just small cages. So they have improved. But yeah, there's nothing beats just seeing animals in the wild.
Actually, what is good news is what's going on in Russia.
Yeah,
I like that. What really was catastrophic for everybody was the war in Ukraine. It put everything up, and it looks as if Putin is getting some objection. Now, I've got a friend coming on this morning. He's a one-man Aaron Brockovich. James, are you there? He's coming on. You're going to be really interested in what he has to say.
Yeah, things have turned quite a thing in the Ukraine wars, haven't they? So the Wagner group, or Wagner, that's by Wagner, yes. The Wagner group, who I suppose to all intents and purposes of mercenaries, private army. So they were fighting for Putin in Ukraine. Now it looks like they've turned their corners and have actually taken over. And Putin's not a happy bunny.
You don't know what to believe.
I know.
You don't know what's honest and what's not. So I think this is actually quite positive.
Yeah.
If that war comes to an end, you could see interest rates come down. You can see food prices come down. The world will be a safer place. Wow.
Everything, as they say, the first casualty of war is the truth.
What did you think of this submarine?
Right. This is quite interesting. Look, I'm going to say something quite controversial here because people are going on about. Look, first of all, I want to pay respects to the friends and families for the absolutely tragic loss.
The kid, the 19.
You know, tragic loss to the friends and families. But they were going on about they were pioneers and they were explorers and this is what happens.
They're brave.
No, they were fee-paying passengers. This wasn't done for exploration or for science. This was done for profit. It's purely a profit thing. And it proved it because an actual another billionaire got a text message from the CEO saying, look, we've got a bit of space. We'll cut the ticket down to 120 grand. You know, but £250,000 he wanted for each thing.
I do think being brave, doing different things is important, and it's almost as if the lefty lot think that being rich is a negative thing.
No, it's not.
They worked hard. Someone somewhere took a risk and worked hard to get that money.
No denying that. Absolutely no denying.
I think discover what, like 70% of the world is ocean.
Yeah.
And we don't know what's down there.
But we're not discovering things. That's the whole point. I would totally get it if it was an initial mission to go down to find the Titanic like that James Cameron did. Totally get it. But this was not that. There was nothing more to discover. It was a sightseeing tour. That's all it was.
Well,
and to me, right, for someone who is intelligent, or they must be intelligent to get to become that rich, haven't they? They've got to be business savvy. They've got to, like, did you see the part where a guy read through the disclaimer that they had to sign?
Go
on the first page, it mentioned death 5 times.
Oh,
5 times on the disclaimer saying you may be injured. This is not tested. This has not been certified. You may die. And they signed the waiver. Now, I'm sorry. Any person who's going to go in something that was untested just for profit, I'm sorry.
Carmelo, we want everyone's opinion. Carmelo, this guy won the best restaurant in Enfield.
Lovely,
amazing. He is.
How are you doing?
Really, really well. I don't think you've ever been on this show. This show has the potential to go out to 20,000 people. So you're in front of a lot of people right now.
That's good. That's nice. You know me, as if I kind of gonna be part. You know, with the restaurant's not easy, especially when you're missing stuff. But no, I'm enjoying today. Yeah.
And you've got some really interesting events happening. I'd love to ask you how Father's Day went. You're an amazing chef. To share your story with the rest of Enfield would be great. You say it so. Sorry to keep asking you. It's such a great story of when he got lost. Would you tell us about that story and what was your inspiration to open this restaurant?
So, as I say, the inspiration to open this restaurant here in Enfield is different because I was walking during the lockdown with the dogs and I couldn't find any, let's say, anything to do. And there was a very odd cafe. I pop in, say, you know, can I have a coffee? And the landlady, she say, yes, you can have a coffee. And because it was a coffee shop, as I asked for espresso, I say, no, if you want, I can serve instant coffee or Turkish tea. I say, okay, let's have a little bit of instant coffee. Then it was a big mug of coffee, a cup of coffee, and I say, look, can I say because it was our garden was an allotment, and say, can I say in the garden? We'll say with the dog. On the way back, I asked, is this place on the market? And she was yelling at me and said, no. Right, I was just asking, nothing wrong for that. And the day after, back again, we're asking for the coffee. She didn't allow me to go in. And for 3 days in a row, I was passing by in front of the coffee shop. And day she was standing, waiting for me. And we started the negotiation for that. and it's a lot of story being gone behind. But when I decided to be chef, I was 6 years old, and basically I was in Sicily, where I'm from. Especially on the summertime, you play on the road with other guys and play football, and I get lost because we move from different road and to another road, and so I get lost to back home. But I didn't know the way, and it was a very long way, and that time was very genuine people around. I was asking the direction for the Grand Hotel where my uncle was working, and always the people always say straight on. After 45 minutes, I arrived at the Grand Hotel reception, and I was asking for Giuseppe. Giuseppe, especially in Sicily, it's a really common name. On 300 employee of the hotel, 64 was Giuseppe. So one by one, they call all the Giuseppe. And the last one was my uncle, but he was not in charge. It was lunchtime. He was in charge of the restaurants and at the Grand Hotel, and that's what he did. He just said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Look, I get lost. I remember just where you're walking. I love you. Love you, Uncle Zio. We call Zio, and I come to you." Yes, and then he said to me, "I can't bring home now." And that was more than 40 years ago. So nearly 42 years ago. And
wow.
And that was just he put me on the corner and inside the kitchen, and there was this big chef with a big mustache and authority person shouting, give orders to everyone, and everyone answer back, "Yes, chef," and all this. And he was the showman of the old hotel. And then I said, "Look, this guy's got big authority. He was feeding me all the time with the puddings, with the lasagna, with all kinds of food." And I said, "Oh, that's nice." And let's see. I say, "Oh, this guy got authority. This guy got talent. I love what he's cooking." And then when I decided to be chef, I was 6 years old, and that's it. Everything happened. Anyway. Look, I'll just pop in to say hi to all of you. And Saturday, and we're gonna be busy. Weekend is gonna be busy. I would like to say also on Tuesday lunchtime, we're gonna organize an event here at Lizzie's Cucina, which is I'm gonna invite all my suppliers, and we use the garden to do, let's say, kind of brunch. And I'm gonna invite also the people which is part of my organization and consortium, because I'm the president of Italian Chef Consortium, which is they put together all the people from Italian hospitality. So we're gonna have some fun. So if you want to join and come with us, and anyone, you're more than welcome. And so more we're gonna be, better gonna be. That's true.
That's an amazing invitation.
Yeah.
Let's tell people where you are.
We are in Oakwood, basically 85 Bramley Road, Lizzie's Cucina, and so easy to, we got the tube, just 2 minutes walk from distance.
Literally 2 minutes walk.
Car park everywhere, because tube station, we've got 2 big car park. And no excuse. And if it's gonna be sunny, garden is gonna be beautiful. And it's an opportunity to try something new also, and something which is gonna launch on the new menu. So as a preview of the new menu. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay.
What time is it starting?
From 11 to 2:30.
So in case you didn't know this, viewers, every year, we started something really crazy called the Enfield Business Awards. Here we go. I'll show you. And these guys won by public vote the best restaurant in Enfield. They've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of votes. And I just want to talk about something very dark. These guys got about 20 negative reviews that were fake.
Yeah.
The Italian community rallied around them, gave them great reviews, and it's ended up we've got rid of all the bad reviews, and now we've only got positive reviews. So like, I don't know how that felt as an independent small business to be attacked like that. We've got to support people like this, because
Absolutely.
all we'll be left with is McDonald's.
Yeah. No, exactly. That's and then so the case has been reported from the Italian radio, the Italian TV, and also the Guardian reported the case.
The Guardian.
So, yeah, it's it's end of the day, it's so embarrassing when you know someone on the web can buy negative review.
Yeah.
And spread on the way they like, or can buy positive review, even cheating. That is if I say if you go on the TripAdvisor, we are on the 5th place in the whole London as Italian restaurants. The reason why, because the first 4 pizzeria at the top, they got thousand of good and positive review, and the people with the left only 1 review, of people with literally in the same review from the same business.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a cheating, honestly. This we don't love that. And but anyway, I don't want any fake review. I don't want to have any positive or negative review. I don't ask to anyone to, let's say, to do a positive review if you don't been they never been to my place to eat. And because the feedback is important. When you got feedback positive, it's because we've done something good, and we're gonna carry on to keep that things to be good or even better. If we done our set of critics, because critics help to for the business to do not repeat the mistakes and make everyone happy. End of the day, it's we work on let's say in a business which is named hospitality. We need to host our customer and make them feel good all the time they're gonna come over here. And as I say, as a football player, I need to score all the time, because if I don't score to every single tables, that means it's gonna have a problem. So the pressure is higher. The staff work very hard, and they deserve to be at the top. Anyway, I need to go.
Before you go, I've got a couple of questions. Is there any word on Sissy Lee? Maybe Sissy Lee is going to come to the restaurant, do a night. Do you know anything about that?
Oh yes, of course. With Sicily, we confirmed the date on the 17th of August.
17th of August.
Gonna be and actually, I'll tell you something. When I was talking, because I'm well connected also with the Italian community and with the Italian let's say consulate and Istituto Culture. In reality, this it's a really beautiful kind of art, because he's an artist, or she's an artist. Up to us. And she's an artist, and it makes something different. And the value of this person is a lot, because it can bring a lot of funny part, and she knows to singing proper, and it's a pure entertainment. And then why not with a good food? It can be a good match.
It's going to be great. Your favorite type of Italian food?
Oh, anything with pasta in it. I love pasta food.
Pasta.
Carbonella.
These guys, their seafood pasta is unbelievable. And their bread. Oh my God, the bread.
Yeah. Everything is homemade, fresh pasta, homemade bread. You did the bread with me, the focaccia bread. That's look, it's something which is we believe. No, if you don't believe, I'm never gonna do it.
No.
So,
anybody watching this, have you got any reservations for tonight, or are you fully booked?
Tonight is a bit tricky, because check the weather. It's gonna raining. So what I'm gonna do? I got a lot of bookings for tonight, but still something available. If it doesn't rain, garden is open. If it's rain, I put the people inside, and gonna be always a good ambience, because we're gonna create a good ambience.
There you go. That's how busy this place is. Support local people, Carmelo. You've been very generous with your time. You got to prepare the food. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, see you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Really nice food over there.
I know. I mean, I'll tell you what, sort of spin off from that. I got my kitchen redone, so I thought I'd spend out. I thought I'm going to burn the kitchen, get some new utensils, and it's the first time I actually bought, I would say, a good chef's knife.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, how much are we talking here?
£70, £80.
Well, I've never spent that kind of money on a knife.
The difference is it's night and day. Absolute night and day between that and a £4.99 Tesco job. Seriously. I mean, now I've got it. I started watching on YouTube things I've got some whetstones to sharpen it and how you're supposed to look after it. So the two, apart from obviously you got to keep it sharp, okay. But the first misnomer I didn't understand. You know what I would call it, the typical kebab, where they're sitting there with they're using the steel. That doesn't sharpen a knife.
Just looks good.
It only hones it. So what it means is it keeps the edge straight,
right?
Rather than, because after using it, the edge gets obviously very tiny, gets a bit wavy. So that just straightens the edge. It doesn't sharpen the knife. So that was the first thing I learnt. The second thing I learned is never, ever, ever put decent knives in a dishwasher.
Ooh.
Because the hardness of the knife is tempered with heat. And the more it then gets hot and cold, which it gets quite hot in a dishwasher, it will start losing that temper and it will start getting softer. So you should always use your knife when you're finished, under tap, wipe it off, put it back in, put it back.
And I remember, like, I'm not so young. Well, I remember the day that there was a person that would come to the house
and sharpen your knife. Yeah.
Imagine.
Like I say, you can buy these little things where you just go a couple of times, but for 20 quid, you can get a set of whetstones. And
maybe it could be quite useful for you to come and show us.
I'll show you. Yeah, I'm only just learning, so I'm just started, YouTube on there learning, and it's quite a skill to sharpen a knife properly. But and then the last thing you should never do is chop anything on a metal or glass chopping board, because that will dull the blade.
There you go. You've heard it here first.
So that's it. That's my tips. And
the show really relies on guests. Thank you, Carmela, for coming. We always have a shorter show. Andrew isn't here today. If we don't get a phone in soon, I'm going to close the show at 8:30. So 0203 846 8888. We haven't got Andrew. I don't know what's going on in the cricket. God knows. Do you know?
No.
I think England lost the first.
Yeah, they were up and then they were down and they were up again.
But the football, right? These players are being sold for 50 million, 60 million. Where are they getting the money from?
They're not.
Is it all from Sky?
No, they're not, basically. They're just borrowing it. No, they're not joking. If you look at the debt of some of these clubs,
if you buy a player for 60 million, you will never get that back.
No,
never.
But also
that's only one player.
That's not just buying 60 million. That's then also paying him $500,000 or whatever a week on top of that.
You're right.
So you're probably paying that again every year.
There must be some tax benefits to it or something, because it's really, we criticize people going down in subs. Let's look at that. That industry is disgusting. I know your son works here, but look, the average football team's worth 2 billion for what exactly?
No, look, I'm totally 100% with you there. The problem is that they did bring up the thing of putting wage caps like they do. So American football, they have wage caps. And they do a couple of things which are really good. So the lowest team who ends up at the bottom gets first pick on the drafts the following season.
Like that.
I think that's a good idea. And like you say, they've got a wage cap where they can only spend a total. Doesn't matter what they do in turn with each player, but they can't spend more than 100 million a year or whatever on it.
That's clever.
On it. But the problem is they did try to do that. But to bring that in, they would have to bring it in with everyone in Europe as well. Because if we do it and no one else does it, every player then goes to play for Barcelona, Inter Milan.
Well, I think we should get Andrew on this one and talk about it. That the dogs. I went to the dogs last Saturday, and there were tons of demonstrators outside the dogs, shouting, saying we're mistreating those dogs. Look, I'd love to know your opinion. It's Ascot. Are we mistreating those horses? Animal lovers out there, let us know. 0203-846-8888. We're coming to the end. We are not going to extend the show if we don't get a guest today. Should we
good news? We're going to try to do good news. So
good news.
I sort of tried to, obviously the interest rates have gone up again, so we tried to find something positive about it. So the government of the government has actually got together with the heads of the banks, and what they've agreed is that they will, if you do fall into trouble, they will not try and repossess your house for at least 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you a break to do something. And if you do, you can extend the number of years, so you can actually increase the years to try and get the payments down, and that won't affect your credit rating. So that is good. But it's like what I always keep saying, if anybody is struggling, do not ignore it. Don't.
That's right. I spoke to somebody today and yesterday that hasn't paid their mortgage for 3 months, and their heads are in the sand. I said, just give them a call. You can go into Stone, do all these different things.
Yeah,
so
explain.
That is you. It is not. Malcolm and I did some maths, or he did some maths, saying how expensive it would be for young people to get on the property ladder now.
It is frightening. So I did basic maths. So we're only going. Let's say I'm only talking about houses where we are. Okay, so I just looked up the average. So average house price where we are is around £600,000. Now you've got to put 15% of that down. Okay, so you put 15% down over 25 years. You're currently at 5.89%. You are paying £3,200 a month repayments.
You've got my heart goes out to all the young people who want to get on the ladder. There is advice out there for them, and I think is all you can do, or live at mum and dad's.
Yeah, well, we've got, I think, the second highest number of people in London of people still living with mum and dad. You know, I get it. God, wish I could have done it. Everything paid for, food, rent, you know, things like that. But no, look, seriously, you know, it can't carry on. Where the positive is, at some point, once the youngsters can't get on the ladder, the whole thing will stop. And don't panic about, oh, my house is going to be negative equity. It's a home. It's a home.
Yeah.
No house over any long period of time is worth less than what you paid for it.
There's more people on the planet. So just to wrap, I don't think anyone's going to call in. I don't think I put the wrong link this morning. I hold my hand up because it was a bit of a rush. Let's wrap this up. What are we doing at the weekend?
I think, Gary, you need to cut your grass.
I'm going to buy a trimmer today.
Yeah,
I cut it.
Cordless one.
I cut it halfway, and then the lawnmower couldn't do the edges.
Yeah, no. Go and get a cordless one, though.
Have you got a brand that I can trust?
Well, yeah, they're all pretty good. If you're going to spend at least 50, 60 quid on one, you know, the only reason I say get cordless one is because it's just.
Do you think I should get it at Argos, that the guarantees, or B&Q?
I got mine from Tool Station. You know where Tool Station is?
I know where Tool Station is.
Yeah, I think I paid
50
quid. Yeah, it was all right. I mean, look, it's not. If I was a gardener and it was my job, I certainly wouldn't buy this, because it wouldn't last. You know, it's the problem is, too many people, when it comes to buying tools, think, you know, go on there, read the reviews, and, you know, they'll go and buy a £250 DeWalt drill because it's like one of the best, and they'll use it once a year, you know, to drill a hole and put a picture up. You know, it's horses for courses. You know, I don't do a lot of DIY bits and pieces, so I bought cheap drills because I don't need expensive drills.
There you go. So
it's the same thing. I would say we bought a cordless trimmer and a cordless trimmer, you know, like hedge trimmer, and it is just easier not having cables around, because, you know, you're moving cables about in a garden.
You've convinced me. So you're going to chill today.
Get one.
Something that Harry and I went to a few years ago was the concert at Enfield Baptist Church. that's going to happen at 7:30 tonight. If you're into classical music, the program will be Bach. That was quite interesting. And then today, if you've got kids, the Mayor of London has given some money to Enfield Council to do something creative on the lawn there at the thing. So there's some stuff
That's
going
good.
on.
And Harry hope you get well. He had another small eye operation on Monday. He's fine. He's just recovering. He's itching to get back to work. He's out in America in a couple of weeks' time, so he's off.
We wish him well. Anyone that's having an operation or traveling, stay safe. Have a lovely weekend. I hope I bump into you sometime, and thank you for your time.
No problem.
We'll see you next week. We've tried our best to keep today positive.
We have.
I hope for next week we got a new Russian prime minister and it's not Putin anymore, and the war's over and all the prices tumble down.